So we just talked about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and that being in theaters. Well, when I saw it, I think my theater done goofed because I was supposed to see the Avatar The Way of Water trailer attached to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I did not. Uh the last trailer shows, and then they do like the weird, like, make sure you have your Coke, which is always kind of weird to me that they show that as the final trailer. I'm like, I'm sitting in my seat. If I wanted to drink, I already have a drink. But I start the movie and I'm leaning over to Heather. I'm like, we didn't miss an Avatar trailer, did we? She's like, no, there's no Avatar trailer. I double checked. My mom was like, did I miss an Avatar trailer somewhere? Like, no, there's no Avatar trailer. So I think my theater
Oops.
done goofed because that was the whole hook for the Avatar
Yeah.
trailer was it was supposed to be a week, but I guess not. Was you can only see the trailer for the new Avatar The Way of Water in theaters attached to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is a good marketing idea. I remember when
Yeah.
the Phantom Menace trailer was attached to, I think it's Meet Joe Black. That's the only thing Meet Joe Black is remembered for nowadays is the Phantom Menace trailer being in front of it. So I had to wait like a normal person. I had to wait and see it on YouTube, which, not to be a stickler and defend James Cameron, but I think it would have been better if I saw it in the theater because I'm sure that's how he would have wanted me to see it as opposed to a tiny little monitor on my computer before I see it on my TV at home, which is even remotely close to a theater. That being said, even after seeing the trailer, my thoughts are no different then than they've been for the past
hmm
13 years. I'm not overly excited for this. This movie came out too late. Sure, the visuals look cool, but I think we're at a point in society now that society kind of demands better than just it looks pretty. Again, this trailer looks really pretty, and you can tell the visual effects have really come a long way since that first one. I still didn't care. And I know
Yeah.
they said this is a teaser trailer, but the fact that there's no hint to the story at all, it's not like the original one had any story.
Yeah.
This teaser's already indicative of the entire Avatar franchise. It looks really pretty, but there's not a lot to glean narratively.
Yeah. No, I agree because that's the thought process I had with this trailer, at least after I saw it was so like
Okay, did you see it in theaters or did you see it
yeah,
on?
I saw it in theaters. I saw it like
Okay.
yeah, it was there. So I got to see it on the big screen. Um when the first Avatar comes out, it is absolutely leagues ahead visually of everything out right then. This is pretty par for the course visually, honestly. When we've oversaturated not yeah no yeah oversaturation with from superhero movies and just all of the sci-fi that's happened since then. This is like you said, like the visuals are cool, but bro, like unfortunately, not even unfortunately, you're gonna have to tell a really interesting, really fascinating story that's not just a carbon copy of another story. Um, like it just it didn't do anything for me. It's cool looking. The dialogue, the little dialogue lines in there were like, okay, cool. Uh, doesn't really make sense. You know, what you're we have no context for what we're looking at, so there's no way we can get hyped really about anything. So it was fine. I yeah.
The past few years, we've seen a bevy of really visually impressive sci-fi movies that have
hmm
not done well, just either from a marketing perspective, they didn't deliver, or they just couldn't get the general audience. And I'm wondering where this will fit for people nowadays. Visually, when I'm watching this, I was thinking Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets. Like,
hmm
that looked really, really cool, but there wasn't an engaging story to go with it. I'm wondering, it's like it's been the cool thing for a while, ever since the first Avatar came out, to bash Avatar online. We're guilty of it. We will continue to do so because the first sucks. I'm wondering how much of the general population, besides the 1% that is film on the film community online, which always seems to think that they're the prevailing thinking of the general population, which is far from it. I'm wondering if the general population is interested in Avatar. Like, it's the cool thing for to hate on the original Avatar, but does the rest of the world still think that? Is there still an appetite
Hmm.
for Avatar? I don't know, because while I don't particularly enjoy the rides there, the world of Pandora at Animal Kingdom here is still mobbed every single day. The Flight of Passage ride still has the longest waits of any theme park in Orlando. So maybe there's still an appetite that's just not film Twitter, so to speak, for
Yeah.
Pandora. I'll just be very curious. I think this movie, though, has to get at least 1 billion or it's a disappointment because that first one is number one grossing box office movie of all time. If you don't get 1 billion, which is less than half of the original, I think it's a disappointment because you've waited for so long.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think the thing too is, uh, I re I don't want to do this movie to do well because I don't like the series, and I don't like that James Cameron basically saw the Star Wars prequels and was like, "Oh, dude, I've got all these ideas for new Avatar movies. I should just write a bunch." And then wrote like, quote unquote, wrote 8 movies. Okay, buddy, sure. Um, that bothers me. So like, there's a small part of me that doesn't want this movie to do well. However, I want more sci-fi. And so in order for there to be more sci-fi, sci-fi has to do well in theaters. And so I'm very torn. I want this to do well for the other projects that it might studios might see, okay, this is working or this is making a ton of money. Well, let me fund some other sci-fi projects. To like I want that to happen. So I guess I'm very torn because I just don't care about this film, but at the same time I understand its kind of quote unquote place in film history and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that it's important, but Avatar, and especially this sequel, feels like James Cameron going, I love the water. I want you all to love the water as much as I love the water. Like, I know it was a running joke on South Park of like James Cameron being in the little scuba machine and just going to the depths of the earth. Just like, I get it. You like cool visual stuff and the ocean and water. That's cool, James Cameron, but you've put like everything else on hold for this franchise and for this one movie, and it's taken you a baker's dozen years to get this done. So is 13 years really worth the wait? Like, we've
Yeah.
seen the longer a sequel takes to come out, it doesn't always have the best track record for success when that movie eventually does come out. Looking at you, Anchorman 2.
Yeah. Which is not saying much because Anchorman turned out to not be all that great either.
The original or the
So
sequel?
two.
Okay. I was like, wow.